Django 1911 here. Hello and welcome to my channel. We're going to be taking a look at a fixed blade knife. And a fixed blade knife, none other than a tracker knife. Tracker knives are one of my favorite design, mostly because it's compact and it's just the proper size for a bush knife. I mean, it's bigger than a bushcraft knife. But it's a good balance between all of those. This tracker knife has got some character in it. If I'm not mistaken, this is coming via United Kingdom, finished there, but the manufacturer of the blade is from elsewhere. With United Kingdom quality control. The tracker style knife would need a tracker style sheath, and this is a behind the back left hand draw. This would be if you're facing there and this is at your back, this would be in the small of your back going through your belt. These snap locks are not that snappy, but the leather has that good aged, supple, and form-fitting quality. You are probably wondering why my knife looks like this. This is how I store my fixed blade knives, especially the Damascus ones, Damascus steel bladed knives. I live very near the beach. Not really near, but 2 kilometers, I'd say. Just maybe more than 2 kilometers, not more than 3 kilometers. So the air is kind of filled with salty sea level humidity. So everything that is exposed outside exposed to the humidity of the wind, the sea water, it is very conducive conditions for rusting. So things rust fast. You need to prevent them from rusting, or else when you open a stored knife, it's just gonna be, especially Damascus, I've had experience with, it's just lots of rust spots. Ow. Damascus knife, the main characteristic of a Damascus steel is it is a blend between two metals, a soft metal and a crisp or really hard metal. Hard metal alone is not good because you will chip an edge. Soft metal alone is not good because it won't hold an edge. It's just soft. So Damascus steel is a mixture of those two metals. I think it's nickel and one is, what's that? I'm not sure. But those are what you'd expect from a Damascus steel. It's a mixture of a soft and a hard metal so that you get a metal that is just in the middle, that holds an edge good and not soft, not so hard, and it won't break on you. Break meaning breaking in half, a brittle metal that's just broken in half. Damascus is more prone to just bending, depending on how it was cooked also. If you do have a very brittle, more on the brittle side Damascus, it's surely gonna bend. But a Damascus that's just done right, not too hard, not too soft, then it would be having that characteristic of just not breaking. It would be just bending a little. It would just be bending a little. The shape of this Damascus, the shape of this tracker knife is very near the Tops Knives Hunter. The Tops Knives tracker. Was that Ed Brown? Tom Brown Jr. I'm confused with an Ed Brown firearm. So it's probably a Tom Brown Jr. tracker from Tops. This is very near to it. That fat belly here and this small portion here goes into a hatchet like fat belly. And this one, although this is just a jagged edge and it doesn't have the angled serrations that you can actually make a saw cut on limbs of trees and bigger trunks. It doesn't have that saw cut here, but you can see it's got a tooth in it, so it doesn't serve the function of the original, but it's very near. I don't plan on sawing this on anything. We're probably gonna be bringing a saw, the metal one, the portable saw, but this is near, it's, and the size also is near. This is probably just less than 9 or around the 9 inches mark, which would be perfect. A tracker blade, a tracker knife is supposed to be a compact version of a full size jungle knife. So a tracker knife with this kind of specs really caught my attention. This wood has got really good character to it. It was nicely done because there are no gaps in anything, although as you can see, one is longer than the other and this one is a bit shorter. So the quality control, just by the symmetry of things, it's a straight blade, a little bend, but it's already good. So the quality could be better, but with fixed blade handle, you got that right with all the gaps. These are the weakness, especially if it's wood. there shouldn't be any gaps here, because any moisture that can go in there would probably eat on the tang of the Damascus, and Damascus steel is just very prone to rusting. So it's good that it's sealed, you know, it's you don't see any gaps. There shouldn't be any gaps. So small one here, you see that? So small dab of epoxy to seal that area, that part, would be best. See this? Those are the spots that Damascus steel is very prone to, you know, a start of oxidation. And this has been stored in that plastic with lots and lots of lubrication to coat it so that rust won't be able to cling on it. Look at that fine pattern, and you can see some rusting. That's some oxidation going on there, embedded inside. On this side here, the camera really gives it a really good, this one is the start of an oxidation. When I store this again, I'm just gonna recoat with some oil, WD-40, so that it stays locked in there and the oxidation won't be going anywhere. The oxidation won't be getting worse. So the tracker knife, what is it about the tracker knife that I really like so much? It's probably just the acclaim that Tommy Lee Jones in The Hunted brought with it. Like I said, it's like a selling point of this knife, and for good reason. It's a bit heavy. You know, field knives usually need to have some heft to it to take on the abuse that you're gonna be dealing with in the field. This is no exception. See, that is 13.7 ounces, 0.85 pounds, 389 grams, 0.389 kilograms, and 13.6 ounces. You can hear some drizzling. It's the rain. 13.6 ounces. That's like really hefty. But for a knife that needs to be a solid, for a tracker knife design, you know, you would be inserting this in wood, and then you would be pounding here so that you can split the wood in half. This would not even, you know, this would not falter. That thick of a blade is not going anywhere. You can pound on this with wood, you can just jam it there, and then this will work. So how good will it work on a piece of paper for a paper cutting test? So tracker knife with the inside edge. As expected, the cut is so rough, you can see it on the paper. You can see the fray on the paper, and that's for the inside blade. How about the outside? Well, the outside is just as worse as the inside. No matter, this knife is not for cutting paper. This is for throwing it around the wood, piercing something with wood, pounding it something. Psst. This is just one heavy duty blade. The only thing you need to be aware of is how to prevent the rusting, because that's one of the characteristics of a Damascus steel. It has its advantage, it's also got its disadvantages. So yeah, this knife, I'd take it anytime. Although it's kind of heavy, if you're permitted to carry it just beside you, externally, or behind you, I mean, on the small of the back with this sheath. That's how it would be looking like behind your back. I really like the shape of this. The piercing edge is a bit thinner. It doesn't have a really fat belly, so it's more for thrusting maneuvers. You really have that fine edge there that won't go anywhere. Get the Damascus pattern on the spine of the knife, going into that tip. So there you have it, folks. This is a tracker knife with a behind the back, small of the back carry leather sheath, left hand draw, because this would be going like that, so it can't go like that. So this is just a left hand draw, and I usually like to draw with the left hand, because if ever you're gonna be doing this and you have holster, my right hand is gonna be for the firearm and my left hand would be for a blade, and this would be a blade that I would be carrying if the situation arises, if need be. Okay folks, thank you for watching the video and staying this long. I really appreciate the support. Like it, subscribe, it would really be nice. And as always, I will be seeing you guys the next time.